All right, I'm gonna tell you a story about a tree and an axe. The axe is the oldest tool in history. It's been around since the beginning of time. Trees probably have been around since the beginning of time as well. Picture yourself, you're out in the field with an axe and you gotta cut this tree down and your life is gonna end. So you get the axe, you go up and you hit it like a little bitch. You're like, man, I don't wanna do this shit. So you pick up the axe and say, hit it 2 or 3 fucking times, not very hard, not really, with any intent. And you hit it, and then you're like, well, and then somebody puts a gun to your head, they're like, cut the fucking tree down. Well, you're like, all right, so you go off and you pull your Albert Pujols, Mike Trout, bam, just hitting it as hard as you can, squaring that son of a bitch up. That is effort. You have to hit as hard as you can, swing like you're trying to save your grandma's life from a burning building. All right, that's the first thing. You have to have effort. If you don't have effort, you're never gonna win. Next time, imagine this, you have all the effort you can, but you hit it here, and then you go up about 6 inches, hit it 6 inches higher, hit it 6 inches higher on that. You're not accurate and you're not consistent. That's the second one. You're never going to get anywhere. You're never going to win unless you're consistent. All right. So imagine this, get your axe, you're consistent. You're getting your Albert Pujols on, just bam, just crushing that shit, hitting as hard as you can. Yeah, you looking around, you're like, damn, I'm going to cut this tree down before any of these motherfuckers over here. And then you look up and you're like, why the hell isn't it happening? You realize that your blade is fucking dull and you're not paying attention, dumbass. So you have to have self-awareness, effort, consistency, self-awareness. All right. So you go through, you get all those 3 things down. This is a situation I'm in. If you compare this to weight loss, you get all the 3 things down, effort, consistency, self-awareness. You sit back when you need self-awareness. Reevaluate yourself and get back to fucking work. Kind of like what I did when I went a couple months and I was kind of half-assing it. If I would have had these 4 things, but the 4th one is patience and persistence. Patience, if you go through all these things and you hit the tree, but then you hit it 3 times and you don't know how much the work is going to cost, how much it's going to take, and then you hit the son of a bitch and you're like, fuck this, it's been 3 times, I quit. You're not having patience, you're not having persistence, you don't have the fortitude when you're tired, when you're sad, when you're mad, when you don't feel like getting out of fucking bed. You don't want to cut that damn tree down. So if you take the moral of the story, you got to have effort, you got to hit it in the right spots, consistency, accuracy, you got to have patience, you got to have self-awareness to make sure you sharpen your tools, learn new things. If you compare this to losing weight, quitting smoking, anything, I'm not an expert. I just have read a lot of things and I have lost 140 pounds in the last 10 months, and 100 of it or so was in the first 4 months. I had effort, I had consistency, I had self-awareness, but I didn't have patience. I got impatient and said, well, I'll sneak this cheeseburger a little bit. And then I only went 3 or 4 months and only lost about 20 more. I was losing, but I wasn't doing my best. You can compare this to anything, but just remember, if you want to win in pretty much all of the problems in life, if you think of a problem, one of these 4 areas is most likely the reason why you're not getting to where you want to be. If you have patience, you'll be persistent, you'll be patient, you'll wait, you'll say, hey, I got to wait another month, but I'm putting in the work, and eventually these results are going to work. You got to have self-awareness. If you don't know that you're an asshole, know that you're a fucking dick. It doesn't matter. You're never going to help anybody. If you're not consistent and you don't go at it with consistency and, reliability on yourself, consistency is also having the discipline to do what you say you're going to do. If you say, I've did this 100 times. If you say, I'm going to lose weight tomorrow, fuck tomorrow. You're not going to do it tomorrow. Do it right. If you really cared, you'd get up off your ass and go do it right now. And then effort. If you don't have effort and you just get on the elliptical machine or you eat and you're like, well, I'm not going to count calories. I'm going to say this is 500 in MyFitnessPal, whatever app you use, and you don't really put in the true effort, it's not going to do it either. So you have to have effort, consistency, patience, perseverance, and also self-awareness. There's so many people out there that are great at what they do, but they don't have any self-awareness on how to get better. They're not humble. Another thing, a 5th bonus would be humility. A lot of people think humility is, I don't want to be a bragger. I want to be bashful. I want to be quiet. To me, humility is realizing no matter how good you are, unless you're literally the number 1 person in the world, you're the Michael Jordan in the history of the world of your field and your specialty, then you can get better. You can be humble. So that's what I have to say. I did see this. I'm not taking credit for this story. I saw this with Andy Frisella, 75 Hard creator, 1st Phorm. One of my mentors that I've never met. I've watched him for a year. He's one of the main reasons why I've lost weight. Hard-nosed stuff. That's what I'm going to try to replicate with my friends, close people. Again, I'm here to help. Winning or project winning is what we got going on. My blog is the Tyler Wire. Again, go check out 75 Hard. It changed my life, changed my discipline. Again, if I would have had these 4 things, I would have never got to 540 pounds. I never would have had issues like I had. I never would have been high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, fucking liver enzymes on the brink of failing, skin issues, depression. I told myself for years, well, my mom died, so I can, I'm going to be sad for 4 fucking years. Well, if I would have got the fuck over it, I probably would have been a hell of a lot worse hell of a lot better than I am now. So don't regret something in 6 months and say, man, if I just would have started in January, gosh, god dang, how much farther would I be? Don't do that, because I've done it my entire life. I'm going to get a 6-pack back when I was actually in good shape. I'm going to work hard for 6 months and get a 6-pack. And then 6 months later, I'm like, god dang, if I'd have just started, I'd have had a 6-pack by now. Well, that's like me in the last 3-4 months. I've been working at it. I've been trying pretty hard, but I didn't go at it with 100% grit, fortitude, fuck you attitude, fuck you, food that I want to eat, fuck you everything. You got to have a fuck everybody attitude, but still want to help them if they need your help. Just internally have a fuck that, fuck this attitude. Again, this is real, raw, my experience. I'm telling this story best way I can. If you want to hear it good, Google the story and Google Andy Frisella and Ed Milet and all that group, and you'll hear it a hell of a lot better than me, because I butchered the absolute fuck out of it. But you get the gist of it. Effort, consistency, self-awareness, patience, and persistence. So if you have any questions, reach out to me, thetyleroliver.com, the Tyler Wire blog.